Please be seated. Ms. Fritzi Ayan de Vera, Dean of Student Affairs, will now introduce the graduate who will give the response on behalf of all the graduates.
He is one of the best student debaters of De La Salle University. He has won several awards in debate competitions. He was awarded first runner-up in a debate organized by the ASEAN University Network at Chulalongkorn University. He was the champion and best speaker in the economics debate competition by the Philippine Council of Economic Students. He had the opportunity to share his leadership skills and talents in debating when he became the president and team captain of the La Salle Debate Society during the academic year 2010-2011. During his term as president, he was also a council member of the Asian Debate Union. He also made a very significant contribution in the success of the World Universities Debating Championship here in Manila, when he served as the member of the executive committee and as assistant chief adjudicator. His colleagues in the Debate Society consider him very hardworking, committed, and have inspired them to be an excellent debater. Ladies and gentlemen, to give the response on behalf of the graduating batch, may I present to you a graduate of the Bachelor of Arts major in Economics and a recipient of the Most Outstanding Thesis Award in Economics, Mr. Julian Kyle Rojas Bautista.
President and Chancellor, Brother Junior Tiza, Vice Chancellors, Brother Bernard Oca and Dr. Mirna Austria, Deans, distinguished faculty, administrators, honored guests, and fellow graduates, good morning. And a special hello to my parents. I did not tell them that I would be speaking here today, and as such, I have a special message to them. Gulat kayo, no? During the audition to deliver this speech, what won everyone over was not my charm, intellect, or good looks. What I told them was that I am an amazingly unexceptional LaSallian student. I am the unexceptional student that firmly believes that Wikipedia is the greatest tool for research in the world. That's me sleeping in class, or procrastinating over a paper, or waiting eagerly for the glorious free cut. I'll tell you a story. On the eve of my microeconomics midterm, I decided with every conviction in my heart that there was one thing more important than my passing this major subject. And that was being able to scroll through Facebook. My thesis mates, the outstanding thesis that they talked about, chose me because they knew that you must always give the hardest jobs to the laziest men, for we will find the easiest way to do them. I am you who never check the dean's list. You who don't know what day the deadline for the report is. You who photocopy notes near finals. I am unexceptional. I know that life isn't fair. I know that you can get a 4.0 while not paying attention in class. But I also know that you can work your fingers to the bone and not even get a 1. Here's the thing. We unexceptional students are not stupid, nor are we geniuses. I am unexceptional, yet I was once entrusted with leading a student organization. I've been privileged enough to be a top 10 debater in Asia. I've even gotten a few speaking awards. I am these things because of the talents God gave me. But I identify as unexceptional because I'd rather consider myself just like everyone else than claim that I am somehow better. Our story is a paradoxical one. We are all average and we are all excellent. We all have merits to take pride in and flaws to move past. But LaSalle taught me that our story is about acknowledging our weaknesses and insecurities while taking confidence in our strengths. I am a varsity debater. My story is rife with inadequacy and failure. It's frustrating to speak. You expose yourself to people. You submit yourself to the judgment of strangers. Every single time you make a mistake, you're immediately aware of your own flaws. This was especially difficult for me. In my early years of debating, I was known for my speech impediments. If you listen to me now, I still have a lisp. I had a severe stutter, even in conversations. To this day, my friends and co-debaters still make fun of this sound I used to make mid-sentence. Like, I used to do that all the time. In fact, I haven't completely moved past these problems. They all come storming back after a few drinks. But my story is that I was not a natural at all. And when you're doing something you just flat out are not good at, it just doesn't turn out well. You start hating yourself. You become your own harshest critic. You feel constipated. You have something you want to say, and it just won't come out. It won't come out. You have all of these ideas and these words just jumbled together, and you stop thinking, and you freeze. When you're constantly failing at something, you start telling yourself that you're not good enough to succeed at anything. And after a while, you start believing in it too. It feels like drowning. You're so overwhelmed by how powerless you are. And the more you struggle, the deeper you sink, and the less air you have to breathe. There's nothing there to support you, and you just can't seem to float on your own. But a funny thing happens when you start to drown. You're given a choice. You can either sink or you can swim. And no matter how often your head dips underwater, when you choose to swim, good things happen. After countless hours of practice, I became president of the Debate Society and won awards. But the one time that stands out was during the World Championships in Turkey. I gave the best speech of my entire life. And the judge, a world champion from Oxford, said it was brilliant. Just one word, brilliant. I had finally learned to swim. But here's the other thing. The unexceptional student's story is one filled with gratitude. When you are unexceptional, you are keenly aware that you have never accomplished anything on your own, and you probably won't in the future either. Thank God for our classmates and friends, for our family, especially our parents. My parents, for support that can't be described by words. For my debate coaches and partners. For teachers, especially the ones that care. A lot of professors with a PhD no longer have the time to care about students. Dr. Tuliao and Dr. Austria are not those types of professors. Despite Dr. Austria being dean at the time, she took time off her schedule to speak to me, a failing student in her class. And thanks to her, I will never forget how important it is to care. And I'm sure we all have our own Dr. Austrias to thank. Because all of us live out the story of the average LaSallian, with its own characters, challenges, and wisdom. It is a story of conquering dragons. It is a story of small tragedies. Our story is a kid who tells their parent that they have to repeat a subject. Our story is a kid drunk Friday night to mend the heartbreak after a girl's rejection. Our story is how to bounce back. It is learning that mistakes are not the same as regrets, that pain is not the same as suffering, that each class cut, each test aced, each friend made, and each hour of sleep lost, everything, no matter how insignificant, is a precious and irreplaceable part of our college experience. We are ordinary because we learn that improving the world is more about the type of people we try to be than the type of power that we have. And happiness is more about how we live our lives than what we accumulate at the end of our lives. To me, this is the average LaSallian, one who seeks to improve himself and the world, but is always glad for the people around him and the experience God gave him, even in failure. LaSalle has taught me that change is in the hands of us, the unexceptional. We who know that while no one can save the world, we each have the power to better it. It is in our hands now, graduating class. And I couldn't be happier to be an ordinary LaSallian. Thank you.